This is the BG Climbers list for the week ending 7/20/2022. This list is put together every week by Michael Alexander. I'll include links in the description below if you want to take a look at the list, and let's get into it. So this week's list starts off with number 10, Space Station Phoenix. This is the game where you're going to dismantle spaceships to build your space station. It's been hovering in the upper sevens since its debut, and it's not getting a huge amount more ratings this week. So I don't think I've seen it for sale anywhere. So it could just be it's not widely available yet. I'm not sure. Uh, I do think, given that the early ratings are in the upper sevens, this probably isn't going to end up in the top 100. It may not even end up in the top 500 if it doesn't pick up steam in terms of ratings. This could be something that falls off quickly. We'll see. So number 10, Space Station Phoenix. Number 9, Guild of Merchant Explorers. This one seems to be picking up a little bit faster than the last game and doing a little bit better in terms of rating. So it did have this kind of weak couple weeks, but it's moved up recently and it's getting above 8s, and it's picking up quite a few ratings each week. The game, artistically, I think looks pretty good, and I haven't seen any reviews for it yet, but it does seem like an interesting style game from the stuff I've read. I do plan on watching some reviews on this one since it is an AEG game, and they have tended to make pretty decent games in general. So number 9, the Guild of Merchant Explorers. Number 8, Transmissions. So I think we saw this in its one of its debut weeks. Since then, it's dropped down a little bit, so it's down in the lower sevens, which is not great. I do like the cover artwork. Like if you look at that with the little robot. And I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I do remember this one. I really like the artwork on it, and it's kind of unfortunate that it's not doing as well as I guess I was hoping. So this one is a rondel with some hand management, set collection, variable player powers, and worker placement. You're gonna move around the rondel style board, collecting engrams of electricity, and it's pretty lightweight. But I really like this artwork on the cards. I like how it looks. I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate that it's not doing as well as maybe we would have hoped in terms of ratings. And it isn't even too light of a game. Like a game at this weight, can do fairly well. Possibly the rondel plus set collection makes it less likable on most people. Most of the comments, though, are pretty positive, so we'll see. Maybe this is a short-term thing in terms of the dip in ratings the last couple weeks. Number 8, Transmissions. Number 7, Grove, a 9-card solitaire game. So this is another one of the 9-card solitaire games. I think we may have seen this last week. I can't recall. But it looks like you're building a grove with dice and cards. And it's a... Yeah, Orchard. Yep. So we did see this one. I believe it's available as a print and play, and also I think is on a Kickstarter. So check it out if you're interested in that. Doing really well, and this might be probably not a top 100 game, but it probably, if it gets enough reviews, will be in the top 500. So number 7, Grove, a 9-card solitaire game. 6, Planted, a game of nature and nurture. So this is definitely its first week on the top 10. We care for our very own collection of houseplants. It's by Phil Walker Harding, who's done a tremendous number of games, and it's a lightweight game as you would expect. So let's see what this looks like. I really like it. Got a prickly pear in there. I think some good looking artwork on this. Like the bags. Yeah, so this looks pretty nice when it's all set up. Got different cards. Let's see what the mechanics are. And so it doesn't have much information on the mechanisms. You learn collect resource tokens to care for your nursery. Yeah. I guess you're just collecting plants and building a garden. It doesn't really tell you how you're going to go about doing that. Let's see what this is. $20 retail that they paid. Okay, it's a card drafting game. A step up from Sushi Go. So, very boring drafting, like 2 water greater than 1 water. So, I guess it's just a simple card drafting game, which I think is going to hit with a lot of people. I think the fact that it's got great artwork is going to make uh it latch on to a good number of folks, and it's not cute like Sushi Go, so it may not be as quite as interesting, or may not do as well as that game. But I think people are probably going to pick this up just for the artwork and the light set collection. Again, it's probably not going in the top 100 though, not with a lightweight game, and I don't think Sushi Go is even in the near the top 100. So that is number 6, Planted, a Game of Nature and Nurture. Number 5, Stars of Arcurios, I assume, is still doing amazingly well. I need to take a look at this game again and see if I should have it on my list, but I don't know. After Game Nerds, Nerd Fest, or Nerds Day, I don't know if I don't even know what I'm going to do with my Kickstarters that are probably coming later this year. So we'll figure that one out when it happens. So this one is doing really well. It's all above 9s. It doesn't have a huge amount of ratings yet, and I don't know how wide the availability is going to be. So I think we need to wait on this one and just see how it does, because there can be games that get 9s but never get into the top 100 just due to the lack of copies, or a game I feel like has a very limited lifespan. Like a board game needs to do well early and grab onto a bunch of people usually in order to sustain and maybe have an expansion or 2 expansions and really grow its the player base. If it doesn't do that, they tend to just die out and they fall into obscurity usually. Maybe rising again as a second edition with some changes or better artwork or something. But we'll see how this one does and see if it keeps maintaining its growth. So number 5, Stars of Arcurios. Number 4, Acropolis. So I feel like there's another game named Acropolis that maybe it had ants in it. I don't remember. But this is definitely not that game. At the heart of the Mediterranean, rival cities seek wealth and glory. So what are we doing in this? We are layering tiles, in-game mode says open drafting, pattern building, and tile placement at a weight of 1.67. So that weight is going to keep it out of the top 100 almost certainly. There's very few games of that weight at that level. It's too bad that it's cardboard tiles that you stack up. I don't know. I guess you can't have this many tiles that are wooden, but that would make the game better, I feel like. And it looks like it's kind of pattern matching. I don't know. I think the game looks okay, but I just don't see this being like a hit game with this type of mechanics. The one tile laying game recently that I really enjoyed was Sorcerer City, because of the real-time element. I felt like that just made the game so interesting. A real-time element and kind of a deck building mechanic, which was really cool. So this is Acropolis. We're probably not seeing this one in the top 100. I would even be surprised if this ends up in the top 500 just because of its weight and the mechanics that it's using. So there we are, number 4, Acropolis. Number 3, Oathsworn, Into the Deep Woods. So this is continuing to rocket up the charts. I did finally watch some reviews on this, and it basically sounded like they took the boss battler and made it better. And I like boss battlers. I now kind of wish I had gotten this game. I heard somewhere that they're probably doing another Kickstarter at some point, so we'll see. Maybe I'll pick it up then. But our local game store that backs Kickstarters didn't back this one for whatever reason, and so that means it's pretty much impossible for me to get unless someone sells it on the open market, because I guess I've never bought a game off eBay. I bought some off Geek Market, but I'm sure the prices on Geek Market are going to be really high for a game this high ratings early on. Will we see this in the top 100? Well, that goes back to the same thing as the last one. It depends on the number of copies. Although I do think this one had a huge Kickstarter. So there is a decent chance that it will get the copies required to get, at least in the top 250. I think that is probably going to happen. Top 100, we may have to see if they're going to, with the next second Kickstarter, or how the reception continues to be. Number 3, Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. Number 2, Northgard Uncharted Land. So this is amazing. I saw this on the hotness this week. This game is doing really well. This is a short playing 4X game. We saw it last week. I guess loosely based on the video game. Maybe in terms of the 4X and obviously the artwork, which I like, and the whole scene and stuff, or the setting. But this game continues to do really well. Low 8s is a strong start. I'm really interested to see, if this game comes to retail. It looks like it could. I mean, it's built in a box that, looks like you could sell it in retail. Gloomhaven went to retail. Anything can go to retail. We'll see, how this continues to do in the coming weeks. Number 2, Northgard Uncharted Lands. Oh, sorry. It's been a long day. And number 1, My Father's Work. So this is a app-driven worker placement game, essentially. Interestingly, it had a couple really bad weeks previously, which is why we didn't see it, and now it's making a comeback at 8.27. The stuff I've seen about the game is kind of mixed from people that I know that I knew have played it. So I'm not expecting this to end up in the top 100. I think that plus the app sentiment. So there's a lot of people that don't want a game that uses an app because in 20 years are they going to be able to play it? And I think that's a valid concern if you're planning on keeping the game for 20 years. Would I sell a game off that required an app? Probably. I would probably usually I get rid of my unlock games after I play them. I will probably get rid of a Search for Planet X if I think that the app would ever go away or be unsupported, because you just can't play the game without it. Other than that, I don't know of too many other games that an app becomes essential, at least on a device that might be unsupported on. If it's on the PC, or at least if they had a PC version of the app, most likely you'd be able to use it, forever, or at least as long as I'm probably going to be alive. So, My Father's Work, we probably aren't going to see this top 100. It did do really well in the Kickstarter, but it is Kickstarter exclusive, so that may even limit it from the top 250, since it's starting out in the low 8s. And I will note one thing. So I think people up, and I just noticed it up here in the top left on the hotness list, but Euthia, Torment of Resurrection. This is going to come back to Kickstarter. I guess it got picked up by a game company. It's, I guess, or coming to GameFound. And so if you were interested in this, check it out and you'll see what it's like. I'm probably not going to back it just because I have so much other stuff to play. Although an open world adventure game, I think I'd like it. So maybe I will end up backing it. Who knows? So there you have it. That is the BGG Climbers list for the week ending 7/20/2022. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.